The stench of Troy still clung to the air. A mix of burnt flesh and rotten glory. Ravens circle the battlefield, their greedy eyes fixed on the feast of heroes and fools alike. I, Nestor, have seen 70 summers and more. My once strong hands are now gnarled like old roots. They call me wise, but the weight of so many wars renders wisdom the cruelest of jokes. They ask me about Helen, the woman who set the world ablaze. Guilty, they want to know, as if war was some trial with a neatly tied verdict. And the gods, but they understand so little. Let's start at the beginning. Back when the world was younger, gods pettier, and men more easily seduced by the promises of power or a woman's smile. There was that absurd contest, the golden apple, and that fool shepherd Paris, with more beauty than sense. Hera and Athena, proud as peacocks, offered him wisdom and dominion. But it was Aphrodite's bribe that caught his eye, the promise of the most beautiful woman in the world. Of course, Helen was no trinket to be won. She was flesh and blood, laughter and tears, and already bound to another by oath and crown. Menelaus, the Spartan king, a hard man with a cold bed and a colder heart. Perhaps Helen looked at him and saw her future laid out like a funeral shroud. Can you blame a woman for desiring something more? They say Paris stole her, or she willingly ran into his arms. The truth likely lies somewhere in between, tangled as lovers in a silken sheet. What matters is the choice was made, and like pebbles tossed into a still pond, the ripples spread far and wide. Agamemnon, that grasping, power-hungry vulture, saw an opportunity slithering amidst the insult to his brother. Old oaths, conveniently remembered, bound Greece's mightiest to his vengeful cause. Achilles, the boy god with his mother's cursed love for dipping him in the river of death, cared more for songs and plunder than right or wrong. Odysseus, that damned fox, with schemes layered thicker than armor. Each saw a way to play the game to their advantage. On the other side, Troy shimmered like a ripe pomegranate, begging to be cracked open. Hector, bound by duty and damned by the gods themselves, carried the folly of his brother Paris on his shoulders. He fought not for love or ambition, but for the simple, desperate desire to protect what was his. In the end, it made little difference. As for the gods, they squabbled and played their twisted games atop Mount Olympus, as we mortals bled and died below. Zeus, with his thunderbolts and fickle favor, cared more for amusement than justice. Hera, with her festering hatred of Paris' slight, fanned the flames. Aphrodite whispered poison into Helen's ear and Paris' heart, while Ares, that blood-soaked fool, reveled in the chaos, taking no sides but that of slaughter. For 10 damned years, we laid siege to those proud walls. Every day brought death, glorious and gut-wrenching in equal measure. Heroes fell. Patroclus, cut down like a spring blossom. Hector, dragged behind Achilles' cursed chariot, his noble corpse defiled. By the end, even the victors had tasted the ash of defeat. Then came the horse, Odysseus' bastard-brained child, filled with the best and worst of Greece. A trick fit for a god, a gamble upon which the fate of a city hung. We burned Troy that night, its screams rising higher than the flames. Women turned to plunder, children into ash. Was it victory? I leave that for the younger to decide. So, Helen. She was the spark, the tinder upon which ambition and desire caught fire. But to place the blame on her shoulders alone, that's a fool's understanding of the world. In every great tragedy, we play our part. Whether it's the hand that lights the torch, the voices whispering encouragement, or the gods themselves who set the stage, none emerge with clean hands. I sit amidst the ruins of Troy as the sun dips below the horizon. Helen, they say, was taken back by Menelaus, her beauty an acid that burned away his pride. Perhaps she found peace. Perhaps not. Monsters, great and small, have a great way of clinging to a woman long after war is done. As for me, I'll leave the judgments to the bards and fools. I have seen enough heroes to know that they're made of the same flawed flesh as cowards. And in the words that are yet to come, it's that miserable truth, more than any god's meddling or any woman's face, that will bring us all to ruin.